What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about how to unlock the weapon case and Covert Exfil within Warzone. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and also as a reminder, we got plenty of brand new coverage going up over on dkdynamite.com for those out there that want additional content for every single game mode, and there's of course plenty of tweets every single hour on Detonated's Twitter. Now, it was a busy last couple of hours breaking down the Season 2 blog post, a couple of new trailers. I posted a video also breaking down everything we know so far about the Season 2 Battle Pass. Those videos are going to be linked down below in this video's description. But surprisingly, at around 4 to 5 p.m. Central, Raven did tweet out the brand new playlist rotation for all of Warzone. And as they mentioned, we have Plunder Quads added back in, Battle Royale solos, duos, trios, and quads, then Resurgence with a rotation for solos and trios, that's Urzikstan POIs, then rotation for duos on Vandal and Ashika, followed by Ashika Island quads, and even Vandal quads. But they also went ahead and added in something called the Battle Royale Preview, which is essentially an experimental playlist for Warzone that I know we've already seen for multiplayer, I think once during Season 1, but now we have an experimental playlist for Warzone. It's a new limited time mode, which will probably only be available until, let's say, maybe the middle of Season 2. I doubt they're going to get rid of it as soon as next Wednesday, but that's also possible too, considering they're adding in Fortune's Keep. But regardless, as they went ahead and mentioned, inside of this Battle Royale preview mode, we get to experience a couple of brand new features. And I'll get to some of the gameplay related ones later in this video, but I think most notably, we have the weapon case and Covert Exfil now live inside of Warzone, which I didn't expect to see added into the game until maybe Season 2, but as promised, these two features have been released during Season 1. So at the start of every Battle Royale match here, from this playlist specifically, a single weapon case will spawn in at random and is hidden within an indicated search area on the tech map. The squad member that picks up the weapon case will be globally marked for all opponents to see on the tech map as well, so keep that in mind when going into this game mode. It's going to be a lot sweatier and campier than anything. You're going to have a crazy hot trap at the beginning with folks going for that case, but then throughout the rest of the match, folks are going to be very snaky, very slimy, and very frustrating to go up against. So people out there are going to be playing their balls off to go ahead and successfully either extract with this weapon case or win the entire game while holding the case as well. So now that you know how the weapon case works in this new LTM, keep in mind you're going to want to run some meta weapons. This is going to be a really tough game of Warzone, and I'm recording this on the day of release. I can't even imagine how much sweatier and difficult it's going to get over the course of this weekend and beyond as more people learn about this weapon case through this experimental mode, and as more content gets published talking about the weapon case rewards. So we have plenty of meta weapon articles over on detonated.com showing you guys the best weapons you should bring into games of Warzone. I was running a Lockwood and I think a Ram here in the gameplay you're seeing in the background. So what you really want to do, at least from my experience when playing a Battle Royale preview, is drop in near the weapon case but not on the weapon case. I mean, you could get cocky, drop in, grab it right away. Maybe you're in a potato lobby and you could just drive around or fly around while holding the case while your teammates collect money. But what my squad and I did, or the randoms and I should say, is went ahead and dropped in around some of the contracts that are near where the weapon case spawned, and just go ahead and complete as many scavengers or intels as possible to accumulate cash. What your goal is to accumulate at least $30,000. That's what's needed to get a Covert Exfil, which we'll talk about in a second. But stack up as much money as you can. In the case, you also have to buy your teammates back since this is Battle Royale. There is a gulag. It is not Resurgence with a bunch of free respawns. You have to play very carefully in this mode. So stack up some money, save 30k at least for a Covert Exfil, and if you have to buy a loadout, also do that. But by the time you guys go ahead and complete a bunch of contracts and get things done, a free loadout will end up spawning into the game as you're probably accustomed to. Now, I'm sure you guys are also going to run tempered on your custom loadouts. I'd highly recommend that, as well as some other meta perks to make sure that you're the best that you possibly can be. Something I also went ahead and found while I was playing was heavy fuel, and you can go ahead and find heavy fuel on a train and warehouses, and there could be a good amount of chests on the train, the moving one that roams around Urzikstan, which you can also use to your advantage to gather a bunch of cash pretty quickly. But if you guys find the heavy chopper fuel and a chopper is available, it's also not a bad idea to just fuel that bad boy up and have that as a bit of a floating HQ for you and your squad, so you can just kind of roam around Urzikstan. If you also have the weapon case on hand, that means the other enemies couldn't really reach you unless they fly a chopper up to you or use a redeploy drone to try to get to your chopper. So that could be safe. Ended up bugging out in my game and the chopper just blew up on me. I think I was lagging a little bit and it just started spinning upside down. So yeah, ignore what happened to my heavy chopper, but if you manage to come across one, it's not a bad idea. But now when it comes to how the Covert Exfil does work, you again have the option to grab the case, win the game, or grab the case and use the new Covert Exfil option. Covert Exfils do cost $30,000 and you can only buy one before the gulag ends up closing. So when you come across a Covert Exfil, you'll notice that upon jumping into the chopper, it immediately flies away. It's not like the DMZ or even zombies where there's a bit of a delay, it just immediately darts up into the air, which is helpful, but you only have about 60 seconds to get to that Covert Exfil when you buy one. So you want to have the weapon case in hand when you go ahead and buy that, and that's where deployable buy stations also come in. If you guys can just hold on to one of those and maybe just throw it down as your teammate's about to grab the case, you're again going to be marked for the entire lobby. But if, let's say, your teammate grabs the case as the deployable buy station is coming in, then you buy a Covert Exfil that way, that's perfect. Or just be buy a regular buy station as your teammate grabs the case. Or maybe you're in a potato lobby where you don't have to be that careful. I mean, maybe it's all up to your RNG or the matchmaking that you have for whatever reason. But in terms of how Covert Exfils exactly work according to the recent patch notes, while playing Battle Royale Preview, players can attempt to escape using a Covert Exfil. Only 5 will be available to buy in total per match. They each will cost 30k, and again, you can only buy one before the gulag closes. But once purchased, a green flare will instantly mark the landing zone, calling in a chopper that can fly any player, friend, or foe out of the match, ideally with a weapon case in their possession. But nearby opponents will be notified of the Covert Exfil attempt, allowing them to intercept, to prevent, or even steal the Covert Exfil. The feature will be complemented by a dedicated Covert Exfil leaderboard when successful, as Covert Exfil will not be classified as a Battle Royale victory. Hopefully that's really clear. But if you successfully Covert Exfil, you can either spectate the rest of the game, and if your teammates didn't make it with you, then they have the option to either buy their own if there's any left, or they just have to win the game or die out normally. Now, in my game where we managed to grab the weapon case, it just felt like it was the game to win. There weren't that many people left, and we just had high ground advantage. We had a good building held down towards the end of the match as well. It just really felt like the game to win. So if you guys are in a position where you can't buy a Covert Exfil, as you see me struggle to go ahead and buy one towards the end of the game because I forgot the gulag got closed, then try your best to fortify position, have good communication with your teammates, especially if you're with randoms, have VC enabled, and just hold down a position to try to get that victory. Now, if you do manage to secure the win or complete a Covert Exfil, here are the following rewards. So for case number 1, you get the after party weapon decal and a 15-minute double weapon XP token. They provided an image of some of these rewards in the recent patch notes. I'll put that on screen as well. Your second reward is going to be a person of interest weapon decal with another 15-minute double weapon XP token. Your third reward from a third case will be the pursued weapon decal with a 15-minute double weapon XP token. Your fourth reward will be a behind the mask weapon sticker with another weapon XP token for 15 minutes. Fifth reward will be the Hero MTZ 762 weapon blueprint, which we got a nice image of from today's patch notes, and you also get a 15-minute double weapon XP token. But lastly, for your sixth reward, it'll just be a 15-minute double weapon XP token. So quite a few XP tokens here for collecting these weapon cases. The rewards aren't crazy, but it's still replayability, giving you more to do in a match of Warzone besides just get a bunch of kills and win. But there is a seventh reward. If you go ahead and have a weapon case in hand and win the entire game, as you saw me do in the gameplay, you will get the following operator skin. Now, the skin is for Corso, and the skin is called Mortem. It's nothing crazy, but still cool to see a free operator skin unlock just by going ahead and completing a weapon case. Funny enough, we only got one operator skin reward for doing weapon cases back during DMZ, and that was offered on Al-Mazrah only. No other DMZ map offered a free weapon skin for going ahead and completing the weapon case challenges. So yeah, you will only get this skin if you win the game while holding a weapon case. And to answer everybody's question, yes, everybody on your team will unlock the reward if one member on your squad does have the weapon case and you guys either win or Exfil together. Now, what's also cool in this Battle Royale preview playlist is there's other changes that were made to the overall gameplay flow. First off, when it comes to pacing, Circle 1 wait time has been increased to 150 seconds, up from 90 seconds. So you'll notice a bit of a difference with the beginning of the match. And also when it comes to Champion's Quest, it will still be available in this Battle Royale preview mode, and escaping the match with the Covert Exfil will not count as a win though for Champion's Quest and will break any current win streak, which is wild. At least they should have had it to where maybe if you Covert Exfil, it saves your streak, but I get them wanting to balance it to where they still keep the Champion's Quest grind an actual grind with no way to really cheese it using this Covert Exfil. Maybe they'll change that in the future. But when it comes to this playlist, they're going to be experimenting with different things in Warzone, and will always provide us with those changes in this playlist first before making the features go live in regular Battle Royale. I totally respect the idea and vision behind that, but I still think these features would have been better if they were just in regular BR, because of the fact that when you have a dedicated playlist, something like a weapon case, it makes it even more hectic than DMZ ever was. With so many people going for that one case, it's going to create absolute hell, an actual Warzone, no pun intended. So let's see how sweaty this playlist gets over the next few days. I'm going to guess they end up just throwing the case and Covert Exfil into regular BR, maybe with some point in Season 2. I doubt they'll keep these in a dedicated playlist forever. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the brand new weapon case and Covert Exfil, which surprisingly got introduced before the end of Season 1? So these features remain in a dedicated playlist playlist, or should they be in regular BR starting with maybe Season 2 or beyond? Also, let me know your thoughts down below on the rewards you can get by doing this. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.